Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Anupam Mishra Science class. Today we are going to study Nature of Matters of class 9, unit 1. Under this topic, we are going to study about elements, compound, mixture, type of mixture, suspension, and colloids. As per the revised syllabus of CBSE, we are uh, taking this topic. So now first we are going to deal now one by one of it. Now first we are going to deal about is element. Element term was first used by scientist Robert Boyle in 1661. Antonio Laurent Lavoisier, a French chemist, was the first to establish an experimentally useful definition of an element. He defined an element as a basic form of matter that cannot be broken down into simpler substance. In another word, we can say element is a pure substance made up of same kind of atom. Now this element can be classified into three types: metal, non-metal, and metalloids. So now we will look at some physical property of metal. Metals are lustrous, means shiny. Metals are ductile, that means it can be drawn into thin wire. Metals are malleable, that means it can be hammered into thin sheet. Metals are sonorous, that means it can produce metallic sound. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Now, physical property of non-metal. Non-metals are not malleable, they are not ductile, they are not sonorous, and they are not good conductor of heat and electricity. The third category, metalloids, possess the property of both metal and non-metal. So they are also called semi-metal or semiconductor. Now we are going to learn about compound. What is compound? A compound is a substance composed of two or more elements chemically combined with one another in a fixed proportion. When two or more elements combine together in a fixed proportion, we call it compound. Example, water. Water is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen is of two proportion and oxygen one. So its formula is H2O. That means water is this hydrogen and oxygen is combined in a fixed proportion. So we will call it a compound. Now we are going to learn about mixture. What is mixture? When element or compound just mix together to form a mixture and no new compound is formed, it has variable composition. It shows the properties of constituent substance. The constituent substance can be separated by using physical method. Then we call it a mixture. That means mixture, there is no fixed proportion. It can be mixed, it can combine in any proportion, and the no new compound is formed there, and the constituent material shows its property even if it is kept together, mixed together, as well as this constituent particles can be separated by using physical method. Now this mixture can be classified into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means its composition is same. For example, if we take water and dissolve sugar in it, the sugar will dissolve in it, and the particle of sugar will uniformly distributed in the solvent water. So this is an example of homogeneous mixture. Whereas heterogeneous mixture means they are the the constituent particles, the solute and solvents, whatever we are mixing, they are not uniformly distributed, and we can see them separately, and we can easily separate them. So that is called heterogeneous mixture. The example of homogeneous mixture is solution, as I have just gave an example of sugar in water, or we can say that salt in water or lemon juice. All these are example of solution. Now heterogeneous example of heterogeneous, we can say suspension or colloids. They are example of heterogeneous mixture. Now what is suspension? Suspension means when some solute particle is mixed in solvent water, the particles remain suspended, and if we pass a beam of light with that, the beam of light scatters because of these heavy particles. So this is an example of suspension. And if we keep this suspension for some duration, that the heavy particles will settle down. Now, what is colloid? Colloid is also an example of heterogeneous mixture. Here, the size of the particle is less than that of suspension, and even if we will keep it undisturbed for some time, that particles is not going to settle, but it's remain uh, in the solvent. Example, we can say blood or milk are example of colloids. So this is what I uh, have discussed the topic, and rest we will see in our next class. Thank you for watching.